Hey folks, this is not Craig, this is actually Seth, one of three sexy new writers for TV and Lust, along with Chris Dunn and Fran Hughes, and I'm glad you're joining me here today for my first video review. This is Avenger for the Sega CD. It's actually a 1985 arcade game that was originally published by Data East that was ported to several early CD-based systems, but the Sega CD version is the only version that made it outside of Japan, so that's the version I'm going to be covering here. Now, if you've been paying attention to this opening movie at all, you'll see that the protagonist here is upset because a road gang has killed his hibiscus flower or something, so he does what any sane person would do in this situation, and that's just to kill every single thing on the road for vengeance. I get the title now. What? Was that one even a bad guy? Gameplay consists entirely of pressing the button that corresponds to the on-screen prompt before it disappears, so really there's not much to it here. Left, right, turbo, and brake will flash on screen, and you have a short window in which to input that command in order to make your way through the levels and dodge obstacles. I actually find that holding the button down until the prompt disappears works best, as the game does have some trouble recognizing quick button presses. The control layout is completely customizable, which is great if you're dyslexic, and you could even go as far as making every button do absolutely nothing, which I really don't recommend. The game is similar to other FMV games like Dragon's Lair and Space Ace, so really you're just watching a movie and following the on-screen prompts to keep the movie playing. Games like God of War and the newer Resident Evil still use this approach for cutscenes, but I don't think anybody makes full games like this anymore, so it's a bit of a dead genre. Surprisingly, after playing for a while, it really does start to feel like you're actually controlling the car, and I think that's a testament to the animation, which is just really fantastic. The unique thing about this title is that the entire game takes place from the hood of the car, which really immerses you into the action. It's a little light on the frames, but the detail throughout really makes up for it. People scramble out of the way of your car, you'll crash through buildings, objects can stick to your windshield or hood, and sometimes enemies will even jump on your vehicle. It's all really extremely impressive. Unfortunately, either due to the Genesis' limited color output or the compression it took to fit the game onto a CD, maybe a combination of both, the picture quality looks pretty bad. It's really grainy with a lot of dithering going on, and it looks particularly awful in a lot of darker areas. It's a really unfortunate hardware limitation, and it really keeps this game from truly shining. If you take a look at the bottom left corner of the screen, you'll notice that there's a score counter, and you're also rewarded bonus points at the end of each level depending on how many times you've died. At the end of the game, if you scored enough points, you can enter your initials on a ranking screen, but despite the Sega CD's ability to do so, the game doesn't actually save this data, so it really makes the entire score system fairly pointless. There are 9 levels that cover a wide variety of locations, and each is only a couple of minutes long. If you're good at the game, it's possible to beat it in under 30 minutes, which is fine for this type of arcade experience, really. The game does get fairly challenging towards the end, requiring extremely quick button inputs, and it does become a bit of a memorization game. There's also a hard mode included, which removes all on-screen prompts and is kind of completely ridiculous. If you're a fan of awesome animation or just awesomeness in general, and don't mind that you're really not doing anything more than babysitting a movie, I highly recommend this game, so check it out.